On starting going to the gym, I did not know how to train my back in general. I did basic exercises like lat pull-downs, but I gained very minimal progress from doing them. Later on, when in my training, I started changing how I train my back. I stopped doing lat pull-downs, and by stopping to do lat pull-downs and changing to other exercises, I got bigger results. In the thumbnail of this video, you will see a picture of how it looked, of the results I got. And in the video now, I will go over to you on what you need to do in order to build a bigger back. So a lot of people on the internet tend to overcomplicate on how to build a proper back. It's important with good exercises in general, but the most important thing that needs to be prioritized in order to build a bigger back is the volume and training more frequently. You should, in general, try to prioritize training back and try to train it around 2 times per week. If you're from my part who trains 6 days a week, I can try for 2 of them to include my back when training. The rest time should still be 48 hours for the back muscle, so you should still keep away with a few days to let the muscles rest. And that's what I do, and it works totally fine for me. When it comes to the good back exercises that are very useful to have when trying to build a bigger back, there is a lot of discussion on it, but for me, the first exercise that really builds your back very well, I've said it a lot and I will continue doing it, are pull-ups. So I'm a huge advocate of pull-ups. I advocated a lot, made multiple videos talking to why pull-ups are a super effective exercise and why they're fantastic. But every single time I do it, some motherfucker will comment and say, oh, lat pull-downs are better, oh, you should do lat pull-downs. Pull-ups are a very good exercise. They train your functional strength. It trains your strength and it trains as a good body weight exercise and makes you be able to lift to most of your lifting capacity when training it, and makes it a very good and effective exercise in order to build your back and in general for very much functional strength. If you're able to rep 8 to 10 reps with normal bodyweight pull-ups, the best way to get better to still maintain hypertrophy, which I've made multiple videos on. I will add a card up here, which you'll be able to see right now on how hypertrophy works, which I recommend you go watch as well. But in general, you should try adding more weight to pull-ups when starting to reach 8 to 10 reps, and make sure that you always stay in around 8 to 10 rep range, or 6 to 10 rep range also when doing pull-ups. It makes you still be able to maintain hypertrophy. So a lot of stuff I see online or in the comments of these videos is that if you're not that good at still doing pull-ups yet, you should do lat pull-downs. In my opinion, that's not the best way to become better at pull-ups. The best way to do pull-ups is doing more pull-ups. So if you struggle to do normal bodyweight pull-ups, a recommendation from my part is that you add a band on the pull-up bar and start pulling up to the band, and you can still in that way train your body weight and then just lower or using resistance bands and then just using not as a strong resistance band later on, and until the point that you'll be able to do normal body weight pull-ups, which in my opinion is the best way to get better at pull-ups. The second exercise, which makes your back grow, which I talk about a lot also, is rows. So rows can be different variations of them. There are T-bar rows, which is one very popular way of of doing rows. There are cable rows, bent over rows, and there's multiple other types of dumbbell rows, and almost all these multiple type of variations. I used to do a lot of the dumbbell rows back in the, I've done bent over rows and done T-bar rows, but in general, when I want to feel more in my muscles when reaching failure, I feel it as my best on the cable rows compared to any of the other variation of rows. Of course, you can build on any type of row as well. I've just personally found it the best when doing cable rows, and that's more also what's managed to build my back the most from when training. But it works very well once again with doing any type of one of those. And then there's a last exercise that can help with the aesthetic of the back, but is technically not a back muscle, which are the rear delts, which is technically a part of the back of your shoulder. You can I do personally a lot of face pulls like this with a cable, and it trains my rear delts very well in my opinion. So it's a bit of a bonus exercise, not technically a part of the back, but helps a lot with the back aesthetic. As for many people, they tend to not have that very much developed rear delts if you compare to the front or lateral delts as well. The rear delt tends to be extremely underdeveloped in most bodybuilders and in most lifters in general, which could help you a lot when wanting to train more.